game. Blouses.
Gallon chuck.
Disaster.
Spaghetti.
Disaster.
Well, I mean, I'm no doctor.
We now join America's most popular show, already in progress. Everybody loves
Mitch and Sean. You guys are the greatest duo.
Fantastic.
That team sure did suck last night. They just plain sucked. I've seen teams suck before, but they were the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked.
And welcome to another edition of the Postgame Punks podcast with myself, Mitch Gallo, and Sean Campbell. Sean, sports is coming at us fast and furious right now, and that's why I didn't even have time to pour myself an Angry Gallo ale. I am drinking it straight from the can.
Yeah, you know, I normally do it straight from the can, but I got to just stay strong for my Packers. You know, Packers strong. I know it wasn't the game that we wanted, but at the same time, we'll have a little bit more in the NFL in a couple episodes. We're going to get you all primed and ready for the Super Bowl, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But the Postgame Pints podcast, Campbell and Gallo, it's brought to you by LaBrosse Brewery. And let me tell you, I stopped by the other day, Mitch, and you can still pick up your Campbell Play-by-Play IPA, your Angry Gallo Ale, but boy, do they have stuff going on. I know there's lockdown here in Quebec. I know that there's curfew, but look, check it out. Their hours, they're open. They're ready to go. They're essential. You can go get, this beer, it's essential. Campbell Play-by-Play, IPA, Angry Gallo Ale, it's essential. But they've got deals when it comes to all their IPAs. All their IPAs are ready to go, so you can get a great deal. And they have coming up, check this out, Super Bowl special. So then you can go and pick up a 24 case of LaBrosse, but it's going to be a mixed bag. They're going to put everything in there. Even some of those cases are going to have their lab series. They're up to their lab series 4. Just everything. Check it out at labrosse.com. 133 LaBrosse in Pointe Claire. I visited there. I checked everything out. I tested their latest lab. Absolutely love it. So go and pick up some Campbell Play-by-Play IPA, some Angry Gallo Ale. People are wondering, where are we on the sales? Head-to-head, Mitch? I'm telling you, I got a little bit of a lead, and I'm good with a lead. I don't usually give that up. So I can play some strong defense the rest of the way.
Yeah, we'll see. I think the best defense would be a good offense. That's just my advice to you, Sean, as far as playing defense is concerned. And, I just echo everything you said. Thank you very much to LaBrosse and the whole gang there. Hopefully both those beers sell out, even if it unfortunately will be yours first. I still hope that every last Angry Gallo Ale is also snatched up. And just Sean, as far as your mug and your hat is concerned, my condolences to you. As you know, I have nothing against the Packers. They are not one of the teams that I root against. And I was really rooting for them in the NFC Championship game, as you know. So condolences that you have to suffer another loss in an NFC Championship game. Because unfortunately for Aaron Rodgers, he does have his Super Bowl championship, but his NFC championship record leaves something to be desired. And I know something about NFC championship records leaving something to be desired with all those years that Donovan McNabb got to that game and was only able to play in one Super Bowl, and he lost it. So I know a little bit where you're coming from, and I just want to say condolences. But judging by the way Aaron Rodgers played this season, and looking at what Tom Brady was able to do at 43, it looks like your elite quarterback is going to be still in the running for MVP for quite some time.
Yeah, I still might need another week before I can dive into the NFL.
That's okay.
I just needed a couple days off before I can really dive into it, but still support the team. Why don't we jump into hockey, Mitch? Like right away. Let's jump right into hockey. Some big news this week. The last week, a major deal. You have two players that were in the same draft class, both top 5 picks, traded for each other. That is Patrick Laine out of Winnipeg to Columbus for Pierre-Luc Dubois. You also have Jack Roslovic in that deal and a pick, but this is pretty much Laine for Dubois. How do you see this deal?
Well, first of all, just on the fact that they were both top 5 picks in their draft, last week on the Saturday when the trade was made, I was watching the Tampa Bay Lightning Columbus Blue Jackets game, and I was watching the Columbus feed. And during the pregame show, Jody Shelley had Jarmo Kekalainen on and was interviewing him, and he asked, how difficult was it to give up the number 3 pick from his draft year, a guy that you guys invested a lot of time into? And Jarmo Kekalainen, in a very blunt, direct manner, said, I got the number 2 pick from his draft. So I think the Columbus Blue Jackets are pretty happy with the deal. Look, we say it all the time. The team that wins the trade is the team that gets the best player. I think in this trade, Columbus gets the best player. But I look at it, and this really has the chance to be a win-win for both teams. Whereas Columbus gets the second best shooter in the league after Ovechkin, certainly top 5 as far as the ability to score one shot and hit the back of the net. They get a super talented guy in Laine, and a guy who I think will be able to touch 50 goals in a season. So they get the best player. But he wanted out of Winnipeg. And Winnipeg gets a center iceman, which they can have more value than wingers. So now you do the slotting for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and you have Scheifele and Dubois down the middle. You're going to be a tough out for any team in the Canadian division.
And you have Stastny there, who we'll see when they fit everything in. Because you can go straight down the middle, and then that for center iceman, you Scheifele, and then you go Dubois, and then you follow that with Stastny, and then you follow that with Lowry. And then you still have Nate Thompson as a pure 4th-line center. That's 5 I named you. So if they can still move one of those guys to the wing, a Lowry or Stastny if they want to. So they do have that depth. But here's the thing. Laine, his biggest problem in Winnipeg, he wasn't getting to play with Scheifele. He didn't have a center iceman. Now he goes to Columbus. Their best center iceman's gone. Is he going to play with Max Domi? And is Max Domi going to be good enough in Columbus to set up a guy like Patrick Laine? But then you get Jack Roslovic, who's a center, and he didn't fit in Winnipeg because they had too many centers. And I think that if he turns out who they want to be, because a lot of people feel that he could be a top 6 guy, he might get that opportunity with Columbus. I'm not sure. They still have a center ice problem in Columbus because they traded it away. And, Roslovic won't be able to be Dubois, but can he fill that void? And that's a lot of pressure on Max Domi. Someone that you and I know as a center iceman is, we're still not sure if that's exactly who he is. So I think there's some question marks. So on the deal, you say the best player is Laine, and he ended up in Columbus. I think Dubois might be the better player, and he might be going to a better fit in the situation. But I do think that grabbing Roslovic for a pick was another steal, though, because that's a bona fide NHL player, and you're just giving up a 3rd-round pick. And you know how I feel about 3rd, 4th-round picks. Trade them away. Just trade them away.
Well, you're giving up a 3rd-round pick, and you're getting a guy who was drafted in the 1st round just a few years ago in Roslovic. So I'm with you there. Does Columbus have issues down the middle of the ice? It's hard for me to say that they don't. I think sometimes you can get away with maybe not being as deep at center if your blue line is loaded. And, Sean, I think the Columbus Blue Jackets blue line might be enough to maybe mask or hide some of the deficiencies that the Columbus Blue Jackets have at center ice. And, I think there's a good debate to be had as far as who the better player is between Dubois and Laine. There's a debate there, but I think that Laine is the more talented, more skilled player. Now, who's better? That's a different argument, but I think
it's better talented
is higher on Laine.
Yeah, but is it because he's going to score 40 goals and Dubois is going to get 20? But they both might end up with 65 points or maybe 70 points. Because if Laine scores 40, he's probably only getting 30 assists. Is Laine an 80-point player? So, yes, there's different ways to produce offense, but offensively they might be similar. This is where I think it is, because right now it's hard to judge who's won the deal. Whoever wins the deal is the team that's going to be able to keep the player.
Yeah.
Dubois in Winnipeg long-term is not 100%. Laine in Columbus long-term is not 100%. their agents might be like, look, that's not the trade you really wanted. You both rather have different markets. Just wait it out until you're UFA. We'll get you small RFA bridge deals, and you'll be able to go. So whichever team gets the long-term deal with their player, because you have RFA coming up and RFA in 2 years, because they're still team controlled, I think that's who wins the deal. Whoever keeps the player, because I think we're both on the same page. They're both outstanding talents.
Yeah, that's fair, and I believe that it has the opportunity for both teams to win. Like why do we always have to declare a winner and loser? Patrick Laine didn't want to play in Winnipeg anymore. Pierre-Luc Dubois didn't want to play in Columbus anymore. They're both really good, and they both end up in new spots. So, I was talking about this trade weeks ago, that it just made sense on paper, and it came to fruition. And, I hope it works out for both guys, because I enjoy watching them play.
All right. What do you think of the deal? You could comment below, and you could send a Twitter message to Sean R. Campbell, to Mitch Y. Gallo. All right, Mitch, I know this is right up your alley. Who's the biggest pest in the NHL?
Sean, by far it's Matthew Tkachuk. Do you honestly have another answer at this point? And
100%.
You're talking,
100% I have another answer. And it's not even close.
And you're talking, Sean, to somebody that despises Brad Marchand.
Yeah.
And, maybe Matthew Tkachuk doesn't use some of the antics that Brad Marchand has used. But my issue with Tkachuk, and why I put him at the top of the pest list, is that I believe he tries to hurt players. I think he's reckless on the ice.
Is that a pest? Okay, is that a pest then? Is pest the right word?
Well, no, because he is a pest.
If he's going to hurt people, then he's the most dangerous player. Because the biggest pest is Brad Marchand. And I know what Matthew Tkachuk and I know what Brady Tkachuk can do, and I know that there's a whole bunch of them around the National Hockey League. But let's be very honest. To be the champ, you have to beat the champ. And Brad Marchand is absolutely still the biggest pest in the National Hockey League. Matthew Tkachuk can throw his little hissy fits all he wants, and he can go out there and cause trouble and fall on goalies awkwardly all he wants. And he still does not have the repertoire and the history of Brad Marchand. He's still a baby compared to him. And maybe when Marchand retires, he'll take the mantle and go to another level and be able to do things and be a bigger pest overall. But there's no way with everything that Marchand has done that I can't give that as an answer.
Well, again, you know how much I despise Brad Marchand. And you're right. The recklessness maybe doesn't qualify for him being a pest or why he's a pest. I don't think it also makes him not a pest, because I still think he's a reckless player who has all the qualities of being a pest. Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah, I think he's a pest. I just thought if you're going to hurt people, you're something else.
No, I think it makes other teams and other players around the league despise you more. That maybe they would despise Brad Marchand. It would maybe anger them more, because players don't like when you take their livelihood and their ability to play and provide for their families into their own hands, like I think Matthew Tkachuk does at times. Very Matt Cook-like.
The other day, did you see? Okay, like I know nothing came of it, but when Matthew Tkachuk went flying in the boards with Austin Matthews, it looked like he wanted to do something like grab the leg and make him fall awkwardly. Like they both got up and nothing happened. They didn't push or shove or say anything. As Matthews almost scored, it was a beautiful play. He lifted Tkachuk's, and then they went flying to the boards because they were both going 100 miles an hour. But as they were going in, just because it was Matthew Tkachuk, I was like, maybe he was trying something there, and it didn't work out. And maybe he thought about it twice. He's like, "Ooh, if I pull his leg this way, he could probably break his leg," because they were going so fast. I just thought of that as
and if Matthews were to get injured on that play, everybody would blame Matthew Tkachuk for being a reckless player. And I think it's no coincidence that even though Matthews didn't get hurt, that it's Matthew Tkachuk flying into the boards with him. The only thing I'll say about your Marchand argument, Sean, and I feel dirty. I feel like I'm going to need a shower after saying this. But for Brad Marchand, when's the last time he really did something bad?
Well,
he's been a good boy.
Well, here's the thing. You evolve with age, okay? As you get older, referees get to know you a little bit more. The opposition gets to know you a little bit more. And the pest and the anger, it kind of dwindles away. I know a lot of people with age who mature at different ages. And I'm not saying that he's not going to do pest things or get under the skin of the opposition, because that's exactly what he does. And it's calculated and he knows what he's doing. But Matthew Tkachuk is much younger. He hasn't come across that point with Brad Marchand. And it's funny because even on the other end with Brady Tkachuk, who is a pest, he's kind of like that cute pest next to Matthew Tkachuk. He's not as violent. He's kind of like, he jokes around with Stützle and calls him Jimmy, and everybody thinks it's cute and he's funny. But he does, like, ruffle the feathers. But the old guys come in and say, "Shut up, little boy," and then he doesn't really do much. That's what happens. Yeah. Matthew Tkachuk's kind of entering the prime of his career, so it's kind of determined what kind of hockey player is he going to be known as: the offensive guy, the physical guy, or the absolute jerk.
Fair enough. Sean, you want to get into some wrestling talk?
Oh, baby, do I. Look, Royal Rumble is coming
championship belt there in the background.
Yes, it's right there. Championship belt. Look, I'm loving my background today, by the way. See the robot Campbell play-by-play IPA? That's a good one. Brought in the Futurama today. Futurama's in place. Absolutely love that. So, yeah, look, how about this? Royal Rumble. Why don't we just throw our picks out there? I wanted to bring in Dave, but Dave doesn't have a webcam outlet or a microphone, so we can't even bring in our boy Dave Trenadui to make his picks. Man. I know, Dave's not here. So Royal Rumble, I know that this is kind of, you and I, we still watch wrestling. There's good, there's bad. It's hard to watch all of it. We're both falling in love with AEW as well, but one of our favorite events is the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So what, you want to do some predictions?
Yeah, let's give me your winner on the men's and the winner on the women's, or how's this? Who you're rooting for, who you want to win, and who you think's going to win.
Okay, so let's start on the men's.
Okay,
I'm rooting for Daniel Bryan.
Okay,
or Kevin Owens.
Is Owens actually going to be in the Rumble too, as well as facing Roman Reigns? I don't know if Kevin Owens is actually going to be in the Rumble.
Well, I was looking at Vegas favorites, and they had him down the list, but he was on the list of people you could gamble on. So,
not a smart move though. He's in a last man standing match that night.
Would be the first time we saw somebody emerge.
Yeah. Oh, I'm always cheering for Kevin Owens, Montreal. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. I just love my Montreal connections. I think I got my Sami Zayn shirt on today. Ooh, yeah. Pull this angry monkey sweater up. It's beautiful. Angry monkey. I like this. Sami Zayn, Montreal, baby. Love that t-shirt.
And Sean, just because I think the WWE sucks now, I'm going to say that the winner will be Brock.
It might be Brock. That'd be actually, if Brock pops out, that's not that bad. I'm cheering. You know who my favorite wrestler is, and it's great because he's in a bit of a feud with Daniel Bryan right now, and I love that they're pushing him. He straight up beat Daniel Bryan 2 weeks ago, and then he straight up beat Dolph Ziggler in a heel match, and that's Cesaro. They're pushing him, and I don't think he's going to win, but they're pushing him for something because he's clearly an incredible wrestler. And when you could watch Daniel Bryan and Cesaro go in the ring, I'm that old school technician that I enjoy that. So I cheer for Cesaro. I cheer for Kevin Owens. I cheer for Sami Zayn. I don't think any of them are going to win. On the men's side, I saw that promo from Edge. I think it's going to be Edge. I think they're going to – he doesn't have much time. He doesn't know how much he's going to wrestle. I think they want to give him the moment back that he gets his like that WrestleMania moment where he wins the title back that he never lost, like 10 years later. I think that would be incredible. Even though it's so choreographed and so predictable, I don't care. I would love to watch Edge win the championship back at WrestleMania after being out for so long and fighting back to get through a couple injuries. I'm down. And if that path takes him through winning the Royal Rumble, I'm in on that.
I'm with you. And you know what? When's the last time the WWE did something for wrestling fans of our generation?
Mm-hmm.
I think the response would be fantastic for Edge and winning, and I'd be down to see it. Sean, on the women's side, I'll say that the winner will be Alexa Bliss.
That'd be a good one, and maybe you might get like the multiple personalities. We've seen that in with Mankind. He came out like 3 times. Dude, love. Maybe you'll get the multiple personalities with Alexa Bliss.
I didn't think of that. I'd love that, though.
I think that'd be pretty neat, and I really like what they're doing with her right now. I also like that they're doing some crossover. I know for a while the men women didn't cross over. I like that you kind of have men women. We're in a world of equality, and it's wrestling. It's fake. So if you have men wrestling women or women wrestling men, I'm all down for it. I think that they've done in the past. They strayed away for it. They're bringing it back. Kind of have Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss, but Alexa Bliss is the Fiend, so that's interesting. For the women, I think it's going to be a Ronda Rousey or maybe a Becky Lynch coming back just with a huge pop and winning it. Ronda Rousey winning the Royal Rumble is exactly what the women need right now. They need an influx of a big name talent. I think they're missing something atop that division. And I think that Ronda Rousey could be able to do it. So I'm going to say that Ronda Rousey is about to come back. I know Ronda Rousey had her kid further away than Becky Lynch, but women are incredible people and could come back and be ready very soon because they both just had children. So I don't know if they're actually going to get into the ring. Like Becky Lynch wasn't that long ago that she had a child, but if she showed up, that'd be incredible pop. Same thing with Ronda Rousey. So, and both are still with the WWE.
Yeah, I didn't even think of those two, Sean. I think they would be great answers. And the WWE is very good at making you forget about somebody. And just when you've completely forgotten about them or erased them from your memory, that's when they appear. I remember there was a Royal Rumble many, many years ago where Chris Jericho hadn't been around for such a long time, and that's how he returned. It was in the Rumble. He didn't win it, but it was still a fantastic pop when he came out.
Imagine if he came out this Royal Rumble, Chris Jericho.
I wouldn't count on it, but, man, I'd love to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't count on it either. All right. Post-game pints, Campbell and Gallo, brought to you by LaBrosse Brewery, LaBrosse.com, 133 LaBrosse in Point Claire. Go check it out. Go get your Campbell play-by-play IPA. I'm already almost down this one. Very poundable, as they say. And the Angry Gallo Ale. All right. We wanted to get to some random sports thoughts. We still have a pop quiz. We got to name that podcast. So, Mitch, random sports thoughts. You want to start things off? I got to hear that tune.
Sure, buddy. Nice to hear the music in the background as per usual. My first random sports thought is that the older I get, the more I appreciate Wayne Gretzky. And this in tribute to Wayne Gretzky recently passing his 60th birthday. I don't know if I appreciated him enough when I was a kid. Watching him play.
You, like, me being a little bit different generation than you and just a little bit older, I saw him just dominate. And that's kind of how I entered the league, and it was Wayne Gretzky. And I can appreciate Wayne Gretzky. It's neat that I didn't see his entire career. I was born in 79 and he was in the league just a couple of years later. But I watched him just pick up. And I've always been a Mario guy in that debate. But Wayne's a special talent. One of my favorite things. You know what I'm going to say what I'm about to say? I'm going to bring this back. It's my third random sports thought. And I didn't want to bring it up. It's my third random sports thought. So I'm going to wait for what I was just about to say. That's called T.
What's your first?
My first random sports thought is I think sometime in the next 2 to 3 years, Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner will be 1-2 in NHL scoring at the end of the season. I think that we
saw something like that.
Well, you had 1-3 this year, did you not? McDavid and Draisaitl?
Yeah, McDavid had the injury. McKinnon was 2.
Those Yager or Lemieux years, I don't know if they were 1-2.
Man, that'd be something. But they do seem to be piggybacking.
That'd be a good pop quiz. Who finished second in scoring? All these guys who finished second in scoring. But two teammates, I think, Austin Matthews, watching them and how much they play and how much – I don't know if they're going to be able to last. Those guys are going to get drained 25 minutes a night for a forward. And I know they have to do it. They've been playing some tight games. But, wow, those guys, and they understand each other. They're not trying to split them up on different lines. I think they both have scoring, like leading the league in scoring ability.
All right. That'd be something to see. And they piggyback off each other's points quite a bit. My second, Sean, is I like coaches like John Tortorella. I know they're a dying breed, but I feel like there's so many soft people out there who can't stand when a coach isn't nice or cuddly or friendly with his players. You know, it annoys me because I like the tough-ass coach. I like the coach that's going to put somebody in his place. And I like the coach that's going to not be intimidated by the multi-million-dollar athlete with all the control. So, John Tortorella, props to you. I enjoy your coaching and I enjoy your tactics.
You got to have a GM that trusts you, an owner that trusts you if you're going to be like that. If you're going to be hardcore and you're going to be hard on your players. But you also got to trust your players. And some players can take it. Some players can't at all. Like, you know, Pierre-Luc Dubois, and I'm not saying that Tortorella was the reason, but it really looked like it was the reason he wanted to leave. Then you have someone like Josh Anderson who was asked about Tortorella. He's like, look, I knew he was hard on me, but I liked it. You know, you just got to be able to accept it. Some people can, some people can't. And it's, you know, sometimes I don't like coaches that are too soft. I'm like, come on, let's go. Let's give it. You know, there's a little bit of, you got to give and take. You got to feel everybody's different. And maybe that's why you need different coaches on a staff where a coach is like, I can't talk to that player. You go deal with that player because I can't. You know,
I would say, Sean, go look at where Dubois was drafted. Go look at where Anderson was drafted. And I think that's a big part of it.
It's a good point. It's a very, very good point about that. But yeah, I'm down. That's why you've always had a soft spot for Babcock. You know,
I do, and I can't wait till he makes his return to the NHL and everybody loses their mind.
Yeah, I still love that. Hey, Mitch Marner, right there. That's such a weird thing. All right, my second random sports slot. This is not random at all. Aaron Rodgers is right. In whatever argument you want to get with him, Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers should win the argument and just let him know that he's right. Listen to him. Do what he says. Aaron Rodgers was right. Is right. Will be right. That's all I got to say on that one.
That's fine. And, you know, I wish your Packers didn't draft a quarterback in the first round last year and would have given him another weapon instead. Would have made a lot more sense for that team. Sean, my third and final random sports thought, it's also with the world of football. And it's the fact that as much as I hate on Brady, I'm going to be sad when he retires because there's going to be nobody for me to root against anymore.
Oh, I'll find you somebody. I'll find you someone, no problem. I know you love rooting against them. It's weird. There's a couple guys I root against. Anybody that plays for the Bears. And you know how I kind of make fun of your Carson Wentz sometimes? Because by the way, I know Carson Wentz wasn't good this year. How many years have I been telling you that I didn't think Carson Wentz was any good?
Well, he makes me mad, so.
No, but how many years? It wasn't just this year. How many years have I been telling you that I just don't think he was that great? Yeah, that's why I want him. I want him to go to the Bears. Because I want to cheer against him. Like the Eagles, like cheering against the Eagles and Wentz, it's like, whatever. But I mean, if he's on the Bears, then I can really cheer against him.
Sure.
That's kind of where it is. All right. My final one. This is one. It had something to do with Wayne Gretzky.
Okay.
I've been playing some NHL 94 lately, mainly because my son loves to play. And I know you're good. Okay, Mitch? I know you're good. I know you have a tough time against me. I'm pretty good at the game. I know you're good. But I think my son, who uses LA is his team. He uses Wayne Gretzky. I think my son can beat you.
Can I use Pittsburgh?
You could use whoever you want. Doesn't matter. Look, I smoke him like I smoke you. But my point is, I think my son, and mainly because he's been playing and you get thrown in a game, you might be a little bit rusty. Play 4 or 5 games, you might be able to beat him. But I think right now, if you were to drop you and him, my 8-year-old son, I think he could beat you. I don't know, because I know you're good. But I will tell you, I'm impressed. He's got the one-timers down. He's got the breakaway goals. He scores with his defense. He sometimes resets things. I'm just saying, be careful.
Well, the only thing I'll say to that, Sean, is that NHL 21 came with a NHL 94 copy with the updated rosters and everything like that, but it's still NHL 94, so I might not be as rusty as you think.
Okay, that's fine. But
good on your son for using the Kings.
This game is going to be done on a Super Nintendo with those controllers on the old machine. I'm just saying that's the way it's done. Okay. I'm just saying that. I just been thinking about watching him play, and I've been proud of him. He's pretty good. I've been very proud.
You got a quick pop quiz for me?
Yeah, let's get a pop quiz for you, Mitch. This one I'm doing it a little differently. Usually I ask you a question, you have to name people off. I'm going to give you the names, and it's very similar to what you love to play on Melnick in the afternoon, sports name association.
Okay.
So it's a little pop quiz that way. It's kind of, I give you the names, you got to find out what the question is and the category. I'm only giving you 5 names. You ready?
Go for
5
it.
names for this pop quiz. Feel free to use it with your friends. Play along with the comments. Okay. Elias Pettersson. Thomas Vanek. Nino Niederreiter. Elias Lindholm.
Sorry, you cut out there. Elias Lindholm.
Elias Lindholm. And one of our favorites. He's in NHL 94. Jaromir Jagr. So Jagr, Lindholm, Niederreiter, Vanek, and Pettersson. I'm giving you those 5 names. I would like you to figure out what do they have in common. This is this week pop quiz on the Post Game Pints podcast. I'm challenging Mitch Gallo. When was the last time you challenged me? I keep coming up with these things. You got to get one for me. We got to get Dave to ask us one. I was expecting some sort of wrestling pop quiz today, and then I got to get this. So I gave you 5 names. Just tell me what you're thinking right now.
They're all European.
Yes, they are.
They're all drafted top 5.
Okay, they're all drafted top 5. Can you elaborate?
They're all drafted number 3.
You're very close. You're very close.
What? They're all drafted number 5.
They're all drafted number 5. Very good.
Yeah,
I know
sorry.
you knew they were.
Pettersson, I can't believe he was drafted number 5.
I know. And it's funny because I was going to throw other names, but I wanted to give you some Europeans so you would think that way. And then like the Canadian twist, Niederreiter or not, but
no, I knew
Calgary.
that Niederreiter because I was thinking that too because I'm like.
And then there's like a
Pettersson,
Calgary.
Vancouver, Vanek played for the Habs, Lindholm, Calgary, and Jagr played for the Flames as well.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that, but I knew Niederreiter had only played in 2 spots and not in Canada.
Yeah. I was trying to throw you off just a little bit, and then you were like, "Hey, wait, Niederreiter, where?" And I was just playing, but very good. We're not number 3, so you were wrong there. But yeah, they were all number 5 picks, and some incredible players. And I know that one of the players that I've really enjoyed lately is Elias Lindholm. That guy's like underrated player in the National Hockey League.
Super underrated, and he's a big reason why his team has the success that he does. But he has players playing that garner more attention for whatever reason.
Yeah,
because they're pests. So maybe he goes under the radar a little bit, but he's a fantastic player.
All right, Mitch. Now we just got to name that podcast. What do we name the podcast?
I want to name it EOS Webcam Utility.
Do you think that we get the hits that we want from it?
I don't know about that.
And by the way, thanks to all the new subscribers. I know that we got a bunch and all the views. We got so much planned for this hockey season. This is another hockey episode. We got some big guests planned for the coming weeks. And we will get into a Super Bowl edition before the Super Bowl hits. By the way, for the Super Bowl, go check out LaBrosse, LaBrosse.com, LaBrosse, 133 LaBrosse for LaBrosse Brewery. Yeah, I said it about 7 times right there because it's that good. Get your Campbell play-by-play IPA. Get your Angry Gallo Ale. But if you want to go in another direction, that's absolutely great. Their lab series is there, but they're going to have a special for the Super Bowl. So check them out. They got a Facebook. They got a website, LaBrosse.com. They got everything. And, of course, Post Game Pints brought to you by LaBrosse. Cheers, Mitch.
Well, how's that for your entertainment value?
They've done their job very, very well.
No.
Come on.
VBF.